Hi everyone, this is my first live and voice reveal, so anyone joining, want to join now or later or whatever, just, yeah. Hopefully I see some comments, kind of reply to you guys and give you some answers, maybe Q&A a little bit, because this is my first live, so if you guys want to know more about me, then you can ask anything here. And also, like, if you're coming back to watch this video, I'm mostly going to be sitting here in silence until I see a few commenters or anything. So, yeah, that's basically it. Hello. Welcome to my first live. I'll be doing a Q&A if you have any questions for me that are obviously age appropriate and yeah. Thank you. What is it, Savvy? Did I say it right? Is it Savvy? Thank you. Hello, Solar. This is my first live, so really excited to have some people on here. Again, this can be a Q&A, so if you have any questions, thank you guys so much. If you had any questions for me, you can always ask, and I'll be responding to your guys' comments. What do I like to do? I like to, yeah, it's a hyena. I like to make a lot of these masks, and I've only made a few so far, but it's gotten easier as I go. And I mostly get my materials from Amazon. I did buy this yarn from, where was it, Michael's, I believe. And yeah, I mostly get all my materials from Amazon. The felt, the markers, the airbrush, the paint, anything. Oh, and I do collect, if you have soda cans, I do collect these little tabs to make as earrings. And this is like just a random object. I don't know where I got this from, but yeah. I put these on as earrings, I collect them. And yeah, I get my elastic bands from Amazon. The airbrush, it was about, for a good operating airbrush, it's about $60 or higher. I wouldn't go for super cheap airbrush, because it might not work as well as a $60 airbrush, so I would go for $60 or higher on Amazon. And also the paint as well. The best thing to make a mask? Can you elaborate on what you mean by that? What is the best thing to make a mask? Like an animal to make as a mask? Yeah. But yeah, that's where I get all my materials, is just basically Amazon. Oh, the best things to make as a mask? Probably, I do like to make canines because obviously like this front part covers a little more, and I like kind of that thing about a mask when they have a front part that fully covers your face. Just basically just all the canines, anything, hyenas. We got, oh, I almost dropped that. Jaguars. I kind of did extend. Thank you. Yeah, I also bought this on Amazon, this duvet. But yeah, I do like to make kind of an extending muzzle on some masks, even if this is a feline, because this is a jaguar. So, yeah. And then this one, believe it or not, this was my first mask that I made by myself. And I am pretty proud of it, even though it does have some flaws, like with the kind of felt here and the bumps and stuff. But I still love it. It's one of my favorites. And it is I believe it's pronounced a Felicio from Creatures of Scenaria, whatever people call it. Yeah. And I'm probably gonna make another one like it in the future because it's amazing. And then this is an 𖤓𝒮𝒄𝒮. It's not as accurate. Yes, I know, I love that game too. I've been grinding on it so much. I'm not able to make paws because I'm not really good with sewing and like fur and stuff, so I usually just stick to making masks. But yeah, this is the 𖤓𝒮𝒄𝒮. Has a very like long and narrow muzzle. I did add some little designs at the top, gave it some earrings. And oh yeah, and I gave it some braids or rat tails, whatever you'd like to call it. These took forever to braid, maybe 30 minutes to braid each, because this was originally like 2 times longer. Oh yeah. Do you mean doing a paw with my hand like this? Because I do that sometimes, yes. But yeah, these are originally 2 times longer, so it took me 30 minutes to braid these. You can kind of see how I glued it together in the middle. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a little hole in the middle where I glued it together. And yeah, that's my favorite part about this mask, is the braids, because it took me forever and it looks really nice. Hello, Kira, I believe that's how you pronounce your name. Yeah, to make both the braids it took me about an hour, but it was worth it, I promise. And yeah, and these are all the masks that I made by my hand. And then this, I did buy this from a commissioner on Etsy. They no longer have their commissions open, but if you guys want the link to that, I can probably make a post about it on my channel. So I can send you the link to their Etsy if it's still up. But yeah, I made this one by hand, and I made the rest I have in here by hand. And I also have a huge dragon puppet collection as well, because you just gotta have one. Really, really gotta have one. And also I'm thinking about selling on Etsy, so if you guys think you're interested in my masks or my items and you think you'd want to buy something similar to that in the future, I would love to know that, because I'm thinking about opening an Etsy so I can earn some money. Yay. I know, I love dragon puppets too. Okay, bye Solar. Have a good day. Thank you. Hi Ash. Is there any more questions you guys have for me? Something new? I can showcase my masks again if you like. I can give you some details about them. Anything like that. Really today, this is my first live, so I'm really just sitting here today. yeah, kind of getting the gist of how the lives work. I'm not a part of it myself, but I do support it. Yeah. The LGBTQ community. Yeah, I'm a supporter. I don't participate in its practice. Yes, I have a lot of shelves. Hello, Valerie. So, I don't really do a lot of quads myself, but practicing it is kind of hard, and like the first kind of part of doing quads, or like when you first try to do quads, it is very hard and can be very tiring if you're not used to that kind of work. Because like me, I don't do a lot of sports, and I don't do a lot of like exercise, so when I tried quads, like it was kind of tiring after the first few minutes. So yeah, and the jumping part, that's probably about the hardest for me, because I do have weak wrists, and landing on those things does not work out well. But I have practiced a little bit, and once you practice, you kind of do get the gist of it, and it does get a little bit easier. But yeah, quads, it does take time to learn, and definitely does take time to perfect. And then how many tails I have? I only have 2 tails as of now, but the tail I'm wearing right now, it's a real silver fox tail, and I got it off of Etsy. And this is the best thing I've ordered off of Etsy, because I just love it so much. It's like huge, just as it compared to my face. Like, it's amazing. My other tail, it's a fake fur tail. And it kind of matches my mask a little bit, and it's kind of half of the size as this tail. Thank you. I know, I love it so much too. It's a silver fox tail. And yeah, my other tail kind of has the same color palette as this, and it's not as big as my other tail. But I do use this tail a lot in my videos, because it matches a lot of my masks, because I do use a lot of black and white. As you can see with this one and this one, I use a lot of black and white in my masks. So I do prefer to use this one. Okay, Kira. Goodbye. Have a good day. Have a good dinner. Have a good lunch, whatever meal you're gonna go have. So I myself don't identify as an animal, but this mask right here is representing a spotted hyena. Yeah, this represents a spotted hyena. And I did make the design myself, but I didn't make the mask myself. I had a commissioner make it for me, and I love that commissioner so much because I love this mask. But yeah, if it's highly requested, I will link their Etsy in the description if they still have it up, if you guys are interested. Okay, yeah. I'll get that sorted once I finish the live. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. I love the wolf and coyote communities. They're probably one of my favorites, because when they make their masks, it's always like just so natural, and like they make their masks look so ethereal and I don't know how to explain it, but I love them so much. Like, because in general, I do love the canines in the Alter Human community, because their masks are always my favorite, and I tend to kind of takes a little bit of inspiration on how the bases work and how the faces are. They're amazing. Don't know how to describe it, because if you can't tell, I love long muzzles. So, just brings so much joy. Oh, okay. So kind of like a grayish kind of look, more earthy and natural, as I was saying earlier. Yeah, I know the longer muzzles are always difficult to make, but I kind of found an easier way to make them using 𖤓𝒮𝒮𝒄s. Using 𖤓𝒮𝒄s tutorials, but oh, yeah. But I can also kind of show, I can give like maybe a mini tutorial or a picture or something showing how to make the longer muzzles, because after I made it the first time, it was easier the next few times, because this is the first time I made a long muzzled mask. As you can see, it's kind of like wrinkled and like uneven. So yeah, it definitely shows how it's the first, but it gets easier along the way, as you can see. Yeah. Well, you do want kind of natural. Yeah, my core line. I can give you a poster tour, guys, after this. So the colors that you want, you'll probably want more grays or kind of washed out browns and stuff like that. Kind of natural, darker tones will look good with that. Yeah, I can actually give you guys a poster tour right now. Okay, so we have the 𝒮𝒮𝒮𝒮 poster. It's very pretty. I love this one so much. And then we got my Coraline poster right here. I bought this one off of Amazon. And then, kind of have to like switch up. I have another Creatures of Sonoria poster right here. And then another 𝒮𝒮𝒮 poster. Oh, and then I do have an Epic poster here. I designed this one myself, but I have an Epic the Musical poster. This one's one of my favorites because of all the colors and stuff like that. And I honestly think it's very pretty, so that's why I put vines around it, because it does deserve some recognition, because Epic is honestly a really good musical. And if you haven't listened to it yet, go listen to it, because it's one of my favorites. My favorite Epic saga. I do love the 𝒮𝒮 saga because of the introduction of Hermes and �𝒮. �𝒮 is my favorite, so we love her, and I also do love Hermes. My second favorite would probably be the Wisdom saga, because as bad as Calypso is, I love her voice and I love her songs. And I also love the song God Games, where you introduce multiple voices. And that was one of my favorites there. But the 𝒮𝒮 one is the 𝒮𝒮 saga. That's my favorite. I know God Games is like, especially Aries part. I love Aries' voice so much. Like the deeper, more threatening voice. It's just scratches my brain. I love it. I would say though my least listened to saga. Oh my god, yes, I love Harris part. It's so funny at the end. Yeah, my least listened to saga, that's probably the Choice saga or the Underworld. Because honestly, the Underworld only had kind of one song that I liked, which is No Longer You. And then the Choice saga, I was never really interested in it, even though it's a very important part of the story. It just didn't like kind of, it didn't attract me to it as much as the other sagas did. But I do love the songs of Poseidon in it because his voice is so scary, yet it's so powerful. And that's what I love about it. Yeah, what else is here? The Thunder Saga, whatever it is, I forgot. That saga, it's not my favorite, but I do like the songs in it. Especially, what was it called? Different Beast and Suffering. I love how those songs connected to each other. So, that made it a pretty good thing to listen to. In Scylla, that's one of my favorite songs as well, because it shows how Odysseus and Scylla can relate on how they're both kind of, let's say, monsters a little bit because of their actions, but it's also not entirely their fault either. Oh my god, the 𖤓𝒮 saga. I miss that saga. Yeah, the 𖤓𝒮 saga is also one of my favorites. Like, everything about this musical is my favorite. I don't know why. The 𖤓𝒮 saga, the ending part was like the best. Hold Me Down was a hard song to listen to, but it was also at the same time, like, I don't know, I forget what word it is, but I always wanted to keep going back to that song because that song was just like so eye-catching. Yeah, Ash, if you haven't listened to Epic yet, go do that. But yeah, I kind of mess around with like female artists a lot because they do also have a lot of powerful songs, and they also have a lot of good songs as well with the good vocals and like the catchy lyrics and stuff. But I also tend to listen to kind of slower songs, or maybe sad songs, like songs that kind of connect you more to earth. Hi, Collie. Also, guys, I do have to leave soon, so unfortunately, but yeah. I do thank you guys for joining, though. Having some fun on here. Thank you, Collie. Yes, I know this was so fun. This is my first live, so you guys kind of get, if you guys decide to stick with my channel, my mask is a spotted hyena. I got it commissioned on Etsy. I will link that in the description, or in the post section on my channel, so don't forget about that. But yeah, if you do decide to hang around my channel or stay with me, you guys kind of will get the title of being in my first ever live, and you'll be like the first people on my channel, which is like, ugh. Yeah, oh, I love Benson Boone. Yeah. Because you guys for sure will get the title of being like an OG on my channel. Yeah, you guys aren't like, I won't force you guys to stay, I won't force you to subscribe, I won't force you to like, but I do thank you guys for joining me on this live today. My very first live, making me more comfortable with how this works. So you're lucky. I want to go to a concert so bad. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. And I hope to see you guys more, maybe in my comment sections every so often, because I'll think about going live soon. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day too. wonderful night, wonderful week, and good luck on anything going on in your life. And if you ever need anything, I'm here, right here, on this channel, 𝒮𝒮 Productions. And, ooh, you can play games on here. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining. I hope to see you more in the future. And you guys get the title of being on my first live. Yes, I'm so glad you guys had so much fun. I'll do more questions and answering on my next live, and I'll probably have more activities for you guys to watch so you're not so bored the whole time just listening to me yap. But yeah, bye guys. Hope to see you again. Have a good day.